Hi, everybody. Welcome back to the Distance Learning Program. It's great to be here with you today, and thank you for watching. For today's lesson, I'm going to continue with Lesson 8D on page 103. And we were discussing Eden's blog. So if you can get your Ventures3 book out and turn to page 103, we're going to answer the questions in Part 3B. In the last video, we read the blog, and we're going to answer the questions in 3B to check your understanding. So the first question is, what is the main purpose of the blog? And I would say that the main purpose of the blog was for Eden to share her activities regarding her looking for a job. She was in the job search process, and she wanted to get views or ideas or tips about how to have a successful job interview process. So she's trying to search for a new job, and she wants to share her experiences and her activities. Number 2 says, who did she network with? Who did she network with? If you look back at page 102, it says here on Monday, September 15th, that she says, everyone tells me it's critical to network, so I've been telling everyone I know. I've been calling friends, relatives, and teachers to tell them about my job search. So the people that she's networking with are her friends, her relatives, and teachers. Next, it says, how did she get a job interview? If you look on September 16th, it says, today I went to a job fair at my college, and she filled out several applications and handed out some resumes, and it says there were about 20 different companies there. Several of them said they were going to call me back. So that's how she was able to get the job interview, by attending the job fair, and she went to several different booths to be able to talk to different representatives from different companies, and she was able to set up a job interview because one of them called her back. Next question is, according to the blog, what is a good way for Eden to prepare for the job interview? If you look at Thursday, September 25th, the entry there says that she's been preparing for the job interview all day. She says she's practiced interviewing with some classmates, and they will help prepare her for the real interview. So she did a practice interview with some classmates. Next, it says, in the Wednesday, September 24th entry, which word means discouraged? If you read the entry for September 24th, it says, I've been feeling depressed about the job search today. So the word that means discouraged is depressed. And then finally, number 6, based on the most recent blog post, what can you assume about Eden's job interview? And if you look at Monday, September 29th, it says here that she gave the interviewer a big smile and a firm handshake, and she answered the questions with confidence. So I believe that if she presented herself well during the interview and she answered the questions with confidence, she probably had a successful interview, and there's a good possibility that she will get a job. So hopefully she will have positive results from the interview, and she will get a job and be able to start working for this new company. Next, on Part C, it says build your vocabulary. Read the dictionary entry for critical. How many definitions are there? Let's go ahead and read the definitions for critical. The first word it says after critical is ADJ, and that tells you that the part of speech that critical is an adjective. ADJ stands for adjective. Next, we have some definitions. Number one, saying that someone or something is bad or wrong. Number two, giving opinions on books, plays, films, etc. Etc. means and so forth. And three, the third definition is very important or essential. And then it shows the word critically and ADV, which means adverb. So to make an adverb from the word critical, you just add ly and it makes an adverb. Part 2 says, find the vocabulary in the reading. Underline the words. Find each word in a dictionary. Copy the part of speech and the definition that best fits the reading. Number 1 is already completed for you. It says critical. The part of speech is adjective. And the definition is very important or essential. Number 2 is network. Now, if you look at the reading, network is in the entry for September 15th. It says, everyone tells me that it's critical to network, so I've been telling everyone I know. So network is a verb, and the definition in the dictionary would mean to talk to people about jobs. So network is a verb that means to talk to people about jobs. Next is fair. And if you look at the entry for September 16th, Tuesday, September 16th, it says, today I went to a job fair at my college. And it says, I filled out several applications and handed out some resumes. So if you look in the dictionary, you'll find that fair is a noun. And it says it's a place to learn about jobs and companies. A place to learn about jobs and companies. Next is patient. I'm trying to find patient. One second. Okay, I found patient. It's in the entry for September 24th, Wednesday, September 24th. In the second sentence, it says, he said I need to be patient. So patient is a word that describes a person, so that makes it an adjective. And if you look up the word patient in the dictionary, it means calmly waiting for something to happen. Calmly waiting for something to happen. Next is firm. And in the top paragraph, this top paragraph, Monday, September 29th, She says, I gave the interviewer a big smile and a firm handshake. So firm is an adjective because you're talking about describing the handshake, and it means strong. Firm means strong. And finally, number 6, confidence. That's also in the first paragraph. On September 29th, she says, I answered her questions with confidence. So confidence is a noun, and the definition for confidence is the feeling that you are good at something. The feeling that you are good at something. Finally, part D, you can answer these questions individually. The first one is, what is your most critical goal right now? So that means, what's your most important goal or the highest priority? Number 2, it says, if you are trying to find a job, who can you network with? And then number 3 is, how can you show confidence in a job interview? All right, now that we've answered the questions back on page 103, we can move to the next part of the lesson, and that's lesson E on page 104. And the focus of this part of the lesson is to read and write a thank you email following a job interview. So if you'll look on page 104, it says at the top, before you write, talk with a partner. Who do you send thank you emails to? Make a list. Share your list with the class. So in America, it's very common to send a thank you email to a person that you interview with for a potential job. Always write a thank you email to the person that you interview with, and that will greatly increase your chances of being successful in the job search and being able to find a job. So another person that you might send a thank you note to or a thank you email to would be someone that gives you a gift. If someone gives you a gift, sometimes people send thank you emails to show that they appreciate the gift. Or if you go and visit someone and stay at their home, that's another person that you might want to send a thank you email to. Next, it says, read the thank you email. So I'm going to read the email, and we'll see if we can answer the questions at the bottom of the page. I'm going to read this culture tip before I read the email, though. It says, explain that in American culture, some people like to send and receive thank you notes after receiving a birthday, wedding, or graduation gift, for example, or after spending the weekend at someone's home. Discuss if this is common in students' cultures and what they say in these letters. So if you think about it, is it common for people in your culture or the country that you came from to send thank you emails? And in what circumstances do you do that? And when you do send thank you emails, what kinds of things do you say? Next, I'm going to read the email. It says, Janice Hill at smartshop.com. That's who the email is to. Then it says subject, September 29th interview. Dear Ms. Hill, I would like to thank you for the job interview I had with you on Monday, September 29th. I appreciate the time you spent with me. Thank you for showing me around the store and introducing me to some of the employees. I feel very comfortable with them. Thank you again for your time. I hope to hear from you soon. Sincerely, Eden Babayan. Now, this is not a very long email, but it just shows Ms. Hill, the person that the email is sent to, that Eden is very thankful for having the opportunity to interview for the job. So it says, for number one, who wrote the email? Well, if you look at the very bottom, it's signed by Eden Babayan. So that's the name of the person who wrote the email. Number two, it says, who did she write it to? The very first line says to, and then it says Janice Hill. So Janice Hill is the person that she sent the email to at smartshop.com. Number three, it says, what is the purpose of the email? Well, just by reading the email, you can see that the purpose is to thank the job interviewer, Janice Hill, for the job interview. And she wants to express her gratitude to Ms. Hill for the interview. Number four. What information is in the first sentence? Well, the first sentence says, I would like to thank you for the job interview that I had on Monday, September 29th. So that tells you what the whole email is about, thanking Ms. Hill for the job interview on Monday, September 29th. Number five, how many times did the writer say thank you? Well, the very first line says, I'd like to thank you for the job interview. So that's one. Then she says, thank you again for your time. Oh, also in the first paragraph, it says, thank you for showing me around the store. So she showed her around the store and she thanks her for that. Then she's thanking her for the time that she spent with her. So that's 3 times that she thanks her. Number 6. What does Eden want to happen next? Well, at the very end, she says, I hope to hear from you soon. So Eden would like to hear a response from Mrs. Hill. And then finally, number 7, it says, how does the writer end the email? And you can see that just before she signs the email, she says sincerely. And sincerely is a very common way that people end an email. It means that I mean this from the bottom of my heart. I'm being honest in my words in the email. So that's a very common way to end a letter or a note or an email. So since we normally don't spend much time actually writing emails in class, that will conclude today's lesson, and I look forward to seeing you again next time. Have a great day, and thanks for watching.